All right. How's it going, Paul? Okay. That's it, huh? You just, okay.
Yep.
The camera and your nervousness. I can already sense it. Fear not, they're just going to put this on YouTube and send it to everyone they know. So it'll just be the entire universe that knows, and you and me, so it'll be fine.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Why don't we start with some scales? What scales are you working on right now?
All of them, I guess.
All right, your choice. Have at it. Unless you want me to pick a hard one.
Oh, that's okay. I'll go...
F sharp major?
No, that's a bit high. Let's do like...
Your choice. Go ahead.
F natural, yes.
Great. Have at it. Okay, all right. So, a couple of things. Obviously, we get you doing some different fingerings on these just for the practice.
Okay.
The first thing I'm kind of noticing at the top.
Okay.
Do you know what your fingers do at the top?
They don't press down hard enough.
What's the tendency at the top?
To close in.
Your fingers tend to go squashed,
Oh.
flat. Now, this is happening for a couple of reasons. And we'll get into some of the more specifics. What's happening is, as you're going up the violin, I mean, you got your hand's about the same size as mine, yeah?
No.
That's pretty close. I got about a centimeter on you, I think, somewhere in there. Actually, our palms aren't even lined up. There we go. All right, close enough. So as you're going up, you're doing fine getting up into some of these upper positions, but you're not quite coming around before you get up there.
Okay.
So instead of a fluid transition through the multiple shifts at the top, what I'm seeing is you get here and then your hand is sort of playing catch up to get you around.
Okay.
Right? Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you start with the F natural on the A string.
Okay.
And there you go. Do you have first finger?
I think so.
There you go. All right, let's take a look at where you are. Right? Good. Let's go real slow. Go ahead and stop before the shifts.
Wait, with slurs or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That was creative.
Yeah.
All right, one more time. Should be a 3-finger scale and then a 3-finger scale. Yeah, that'll get you to the top. Once more. Start from the bottom one more time.
Okay.
Go ahead. So A string, and you get a 2-finger scale on the A string.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, once more.
Wait, on the A string?
Yeah,
Okay.
and stop before the first shift. Okay. Whoa, 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 time out, time out, time out. So if you know you're going up the instrument,
Yeah, I have to.
for me, my hands are bigger than yours.
Yeah.
That little 130 some odd years of mark from this part of your hand,
Okay.
you're not quite getting up to there.
Okay.
Now I can get my fingers down from here.
Okay.
However, I'm already constricted. Then I have to make a big motion to get up and around.
Okay.
So let's prepare the shift, but notice that my fingers aren't moving.
Okay.
Then, first finger's going to naturally slide up behind, and you can just get it out of the way.
Okay.
And
So
I'm there. Okay? So let's just go real slow again. F natural. Stop. Now prepare your hand, don't move your fingers. Yes. Now let your first finger slide underneath. Good. Now you're still squashing your fingers,
Okay.
right? So you might actually need to come up even just a touch. Yes, see how your elbow's coming underneath now? That's going to help keep the trajectory moving.
okay.
Okay? Once more, try and keep those fingers around when you're going up, and then we'll talk about just being in position. All right?
Yep.
Prepare. Shift. Keep going. Prepare. There you go. Good. Now, talk to me about what the definition of in a position means. What does that mean, you're in a position?
I don't know. My fingers are like a certain place on the fingerboard.
Yeah, more specifically though, I mean, obviously, we number these things. 1, 3, 5, giant Roman numerals. Perhaps even one string. For me, the definition of a position is you got your hand into a place where you can put all 4 fingers down and you can just go like this. With total freedom.
Okay.
Okay? Now, I've even noticed that when you're down on the G string, when you're going up, you're having to actually move your hand around a little bit.
Okay.
I'm even seeing it at the top end. That's what's contributing to your flattening your fingers out.
Okay.
Because when you flatten them out, yes, you can sort of extend the 4th finger a little farther.
Right.
But if you're up higher, there's no reason. Right?
Okay.
That you can't have all those fingers comfortable and round. So let's try getting up to that top position, stop before that top shift.
Okay.
And let's see if we can find a place where your fingers are really going to be free and loose.
Okay. Starting from the F on the A.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why don't you take the time to prepare each shift before you shift as well, just so we get some context.
Okay.
Okay? Prepare. Yeah, can you see how your fingers are already round?
Yeah.
One of them squashed, but then you fixed it.
Right.
Okay? There is one where you're getting a little constricted.
Okay.
Where do you feel constricted?
4th finger.
Sorry, in the course of the shifts going up. There's one
Oh.
specific, I can see it physically, where you're getting caught.
Is it
Play it
one on
again.
the E string?
Play it again,
Okay.
and I want you to stop when you feel that you got the slightest bit of like tension, and do prepare the shifts. Okay, right there. Feel you have to reach?
Yeah.
Yeah, and your hand actually had to move.
Right.
So that means you're not in position.
Okay.
Now, what's happening is your thumb, I'm seeing it get caught.
Okay.
This can actually come up more around. I mean, you've got the 3-point contact, right?
Right.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
This part of the thumb is the part that is most left behind in shifts, particularly as we go up. As you come around, you need to make sure that you're off of this and more onto here.
Okay.
Otherwise, your hand can't extend up. You're basically fishhooking yourself on the side of the neck.
Okay.
So try it once more. I mean, I'm not saying like, keep it on the
Right,
tip.
right,
Your hands are
right.
perfectly fine in size. Yeah, even more so, maybe somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay.
Okay, just not stuck on the sort of slight outside of that knuckle.
Okay.
Same thing. Prepare. Yep, and let this part touch on that shift.
Okay.
This is contributing to that.
So-
you should be touching here. Do you know the I like to cook a lot.
Right, the meat roll?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the place where you can tell. Yeah. Like, right, rare. And have you tried cooking any steaks at all?
I tried.
How'd it go?
It was alright, actually.
Did this help at all, or did you just, like, go?
Well, yeah, actually.
Yeah, there you go. Also, the blood starts to rise to the surface.
Right, and then
medium, and get it off.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the part that needs to touch.
Okay.
Okay. Freeze, prepare, feel the instrument. Now you're there. Keep going. Yeah, stop. See that? Your fourth finger is right there. All 4 fingers round, you didn't have to move anything.
Okay.
Alright, I think that's plenty on scales.
Okay.
The only other thing I'm going to mention is the freedom that you're having up on the top, you're sort of losing that down on the bottom. I'm seeing your fingers twist around. Your fingers should be independent and they're able to move this way pretty well.
Okay.
So if you're placing your finger this way, rather than being a little tight and sort of adjusting your hand to get to those notes, you find your fingers are actually longer than you think they are. Okay? Alright. For the sake of moving forward, why don't we skip the arpeggios? And you're welcome. Why don't we do some thirds? Oof. You're not welcome. Go ahead.
What F?
I'll let you choose.
Oh, yes.
I have to say, I admire the fact that you're like, I'm not doing F sharp. But I'll do F. Alright, go ahead. Just start. It doesn't matter what you start on. We can negotiate.
Yeah, I'll do B.
Okay.
B flat doesn't.
B flat. It's a lovely key.
Right? Yes.
Why don't you just start? Just start on the B flat and D. Okay. Take another pass at that in just a second.
Okay.
Scale of 1 to 10, how tight is your hand?
Very, like, 9.
Yeah. Once more, try and relax those fingers. You're actually very lucky. You've got very, very good hands for this. You know how you can kind of bend that top knuckle of your pinky without this collapsing very much when you put your fingers down when you're coming this way? I am one who is not so made.
Okay.
Just to break his hands. Referring to other things. I have to have a slightly different hand position simply because my pinky is not disconnected in that way.
Okay.
Once more. So you're very lucky. You actually have hands that will be able to play these very comfortably. Theoretically. Just that much. That's already better, right?
Okay.
That is one of the miracles, by the way, that can always be done in a masterclass type situation. Okay. Is say whatever you're going to say for like 2 minutes and have them play it again, and it's always better the second time and you look good. Okay. So the trick with these things is you got to be able to put 2 and 4 down, and have 1 and 3 down, regardless of the hand shape for that particular collection of thirds, and feel comfortable. Otherwise, you're never going to have the fluidity to be able to go up and down and Paganini and all this sort of nonsense that you will inevitably slam into. So the first step to this is making sure that you get a really comfortable hand placement and elbow placement. All right. Let's take the very first one. I'm going to come around on this side. Excuse me. It's not whacking me with the scroll. Go ahead. Okay. Not bad. Back down once more. I can see some slight adjustments happening in your fingers. Here's what I want you to do. This is going to be a little counterintuitive, particularly because I know you care an awful lot about the violin. Okay, and you know, well, I mean, I totally get it. Like, what I want you to do is put your fingers down comfortably and relaxed.
Okay.
Okay, if they're going to be out of tune when you put them down tense, or they're going to be out of tune and put them down loose, let's put them down loose, not concern ourselves so much with trying to quote unquote nail it.
Okay.
And then we can adjust that feeling.
Okay.
Okay? Good, okay. So let's just talk through that. Your sound quality actually improved too.
Okay.
Because your hand was relaxed. Which is lovely. Left hand relaxes, right hand relaxes. So where are the ones that were out of tune?
The shifts.
The shift, okay? Do you know what needed to go which way? Just do it again.
Okay.
And again, don't try to nail it. Just relax, put those fingers down. Okay, that one right there. Now, in order to be able to do these quickly and comfortably and repeatably, muscle memory is not going to be built with tension.
Okay.
All it's going to do is building consistently. Pick it up and put it down just a few times. Realize that your hand shape was a little bit off. Okay, go ahead. Three and one. Tune that really quick. The third finger's a little closer. Third finger's a little flat. Yeah. There you go. Now 2 and 4, and just put them down nice and calm. Okay, so second finger's not quite in tune. Find it. Okay, find it against your fourth finger, tune the third. Fourth finger's a touch low as well. La. There you go. Now relax your hand. Okay, remember where that is.
Oh, well.
Okay, 3 and 1. Is your hand all right? You're not getting anything in here, are you? Okay. 3 and 1, and then try 2 and 4, and just calmly aim for that same spot.
Like this, right? Okay.
Good. 4 is a little flat. Find the E flat to F natural.
Oh, that's
Good. Now relax your hand and pick 4 up and put it down. And remember, your fingers extend farther this way than you think.
Okay.
That's finger independence. Good. Now you just tune the A just a little bit. I mean, it's really a minor adjustment, and it will go from sounding like kind of a little sketchy to very well in tune. There you go. Now, pick them up, do the same thing, and put them down, and we're going to build a calm muscle memory. Okay? Once more, don't try and wait and then drop.
Okay.
Just go, because that's how you ultimately want it to feel, right? Not bad. How was it?
Okay.
Okay. Well, if I have 2 pizzas with different toppings, and I describe this one as okay, what do you know about the toppings?
Nothing.
Exactly right. Other than I apparently ordered too much pizza at once. So, a little more specific. Do it once more. You've probably forgotten about it by now. Think critically, but not in a way that breaks you down. Okay? Just acknowledge. Okay, so it's not quite in tune.
Okay.
Which finger needs to go which way?
A needs to go
A little higher. Good. Now find it. Good. Now back. And you're still going to drop calmly. If it's out of tune, let it be out of tune. So A's still a little low.
Okay.
So now make a slight conscious adjustment. You're just going to aim slightly higher, but with the same feeling. There you go. Do that again. All right, now here's the last task.
Okay.
You can't move these 2 fingers.
Okay.
Okay? 2 needs to move up. This is why thirds are tricky. These 2 go down completely independently. These should not move.
Okay.
Okay? Whoa. There you go. All right. Once more. So your second finger you need to release from your first finger and let it extend this way. Okay? Go ahead. Better. Okay? repeat this 1,000 times, but the approach is what's important to thirds.
Okay.
Okay? So now start down here. Just let your fingers relax, go, and acknowledge it as it's passing by, but don't criticize.
Okay.
Okay? You'll lose the ability to go through it. It's already better. Was it more relaxed?
It was.
Scale of 1 to 10?
To 4.
That's a huge jump, dude.
That's
big. Practice like this and allowing yourself to place your fingers comfortably that's what's going to enable you to do some of this Paganini stuff.
Okay.
And be able to nail it with consistency.
Okay.
I had a big problem with that when I was growing up, and I had to really pick this kind of thing apart. So start young. It's like investing. All right. So, guessing by the look on your face, you're fairly sick of going over the basics.
Sure.
All right, let's go on to Sasson.
Oh.
Can you say it once?
Sasson.
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 There you go.
Oh. Okay.
Not Sassons, like you said earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
For the top.
Yep.
Okay.
obviously, that's what happens in lessons, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a choice.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the first part, or do you want to talk about the second part?
First part.
Done. Okay. So the first part of this is really, really relaxed. What I'm missing sometimes, and this is a piece for orchestra that we play with piano as well.
Okay.
You know, quite often. So I'm getting a sense that there's quite a few notes that you are making speak.
Okay.
But that because they're just sort of little ends of phrases or things like this, you're just sort of letting them pass by.
Okay.
And it kind of puts me as a listener just a little bit on edge. I'm aware of the fact that you're nervous. Whether you are or not, it sounds that way. Okay? So, like, just as an example, obviously you don't have all the time in the world to play that A. But you do have time to just let your bow settle, slow down. No, I'm sorry. Slow down is the wrong word. Just take a listen. Here I'm actually letting it speak for about its full length instead of.
Okay.
Don't let your bow stop. Let the momentum carry through the note and then back the other way. Just give it a try. Keep going. Once more. Don't feel like your bow's stopping. Feel like your hand, when you're coming down to the is gently coming to a close. You can stop the bow physically by engaging a muscle, or you can just stop the bow from moving. Right? And that little extra bit of just slight inertia at the end and elegance with this part of your hand was the difference between a note that ends like that and a note that sort of feathers off.
Okay.
Can you feel a little bit of a difference there?
A little bit, yeah.
These are starting to speak a lot more, and it doesn't feel like you're hurrying through it.
Okay.
And so all of this stuff is much more relaxed. There are 1 or 2 times where you caught yourself. By the way, 5. Very, very nice.
Oh, cool.
The one thing I do want to point out, so these 2 notes right here, the 16 ya da dum bum ba, they're the same articulation on the page.
Okay.
Now, I understand that you can articulate them slightly differently. And if you listen to a dozen recordings, you may hear a dozen different ways. Some people may play them super short.
Okay.
Some people may interpret that as like being kind of a pianistic sort of ba. I think you want it on the shorter side, right?
Okay.
Okay. This note and this note are wildly different.
Okay.
It's da 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 dum ba ba. Whatever you're gonna do, see if you can make them a little more
similar.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to be exactly the same. They can be slightly longer, but not something that makes the audience go, "Whoa, hang on, that's different."
Okay.
You can just start from da da da. Yeah. Okay. Is that the way you played it before?
No.
Yeah.
It is?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No. Ba da da dum. Bum. Ba.
Okay.
It has you had a sort of a marionette kind of feeling to it that I really like.
Okay.
Is that your bow? Down bow?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, and that little, did you hear a little bit of vibrato you put on the second note?
Mm.
That little bit of vibrato is that's the thing. That as soon as you kind of hear that, that's going to be enough for that note to speak and be slightly different.
Okay.
And then there's no rush to that the second little phrase there. Okay? Take the beginning one more time, and then let's go on to the da-da-da-da-da-da thing. So you are not relaxed before you go.
No.
You have plenty of time to freak out in this piece, believe me. Okay? Just take a deep breath. Don't be in a hurry. That was the most defeated thing I've ever seen. Okay, good. You'll be fine. Yes. Relax. And again. Just that little concentration on that second note. That's actually making all the difference.
Okay.
The second note of the piece is the one you need to worry about, not the first one.
Okay.
Not the entrance.
Okay.
That's the part where this happens.
Okay.
Worry about the one that's the second flutter of the heartbeat. Alright. Good. Alright. Animato.
Okay.
Animato. It's almost a vegetable. Go ahead. It's been a long time since I've played this, so you may catch me at a slight disadvantage. You're trying to control both, even though they're both coming off the string. The second one's going to happen. Okay. You don't need to force it, okay? Bad for an old man. So it's down. That's the impetus. The second one's going to hit the string. Notice how I'm not going like that. Okay. You have plenty of time for that in many, many other pieces. Okay. So just give it a try slow. And make it a little ridiculous on the second note. Let it hit the string. Okay. You're still controlling it. Okay. At this speed. The first one doesn't lighten up. Okay. I'm hearing two distinct different things. Like that. The first one has the sensation of being legato and slurred in. Okay. Got it? Just do that once and let your bow come up in the air. Yeah. A little bit more impetus of will in turning that arm around. Great. Now, you won't use that much bow. So shrink it up a little bit now. Once more. Into the string. A bit like that once. Yeah. Can you feel how your arms are very relaxed when you do it like that? Don't anticipate the notes coming off the string now. But let it come off. Yeah. Same thing, you're just shortening up that note now. That's all I want to hear now. Oh, crap. Okay? Crack bone. The other crack bone.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay? Now, to get that feeling, don't let it hit so hard this time. Okay. And to get rid of the you always add more horizontal motion. To get more, you add more vertical motion and less horizontal motion. So now, da-da-dum-bum, that little turnaround, just let the bow come slightly off the string. And the second one has to be dropped, not just on its own, okay? You didn't connect it, did you? Don't control the second one. Could you feel yourself going quack, quack?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make a duck sound. It didn't sound like that. Go ahead. You get the idea.
Sorry.
You gonna sneeze?
Yeah.
Awesome. Go right next to the camera and just right in the lens. Okay, go ahead. Bless you. I've never seen that technique before. Okay, go ahead. Not bad. Let it drop. I'm hearing this.
Okay.
A space. You have to flip the bow up that way. Yeah? Yes, that's the idea. Now can you make it a little smaller? Because I constantly demand things. A little faster will help as well. Don't control it. Can you feel that you're grabbing the second one?
Sort of.
You're catching it in midair. Once more. Da-da-da-bum. Don't try so hard and just let it just feel like it's a little sloppy. Again. Again. Now don't think about it so much. That's a good one. Smaller. Good, now I want you to think as if it's diminuendo. It's on the last note. Yeah, now smaller. Yeah, the more you try and control it, the tighter you tighten your grip, the more star systems will slip through your fingers.
Okay.
Sorry, for some reason I was watching Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3 lately, and moments of greatness, long periods of alright, so that's the feeling you're trying to get on all of this, alright? And as you get more comfortable with it, it'll get more articulate.
Okay.
Let's just go through some of this, and then I do want to maybe just real quickly, and we'll just touch on some points, and then talk about some of the other stuff. Now, in these little slides, there's a tune written over the top, and I can tell the slide's great, and I can tell you're trying to capture that sensation of kind of like a harp player plucking, right? You're sliding up to 1 there?
Yeah.
You're worried kind of about getting the slide and hitting the note,
Okay.
right? Worry about hitting the note on the top and vibrating when you get there, and don't make too big of a deal out of it.
Wait, why?
Huh?
Wait, why?
Why don't make so much of a big deal out of it?
Yeah.
I'm talking physically.
Physically.
And psychologically.
Okay.
Okay, you're concerning yourself with making this sound pretty. Now, because you're concerning yourself mentally with making it sound pretty, first of all, you're thinking a little too much, and that just slows everything down, right?
Okay.
Bless you. The second thing that is going on when I say you're concerning yourself with this is you're never going to get that relaxed, smooth feeling if you're trying too hard.
Okay.
Again, it's like the thirds. Play relaxed, acknowledge what happened and what you'd like to change,
Okay.
rather than going, okay? Okay, great. So we're hitting the notes now, just fine, and it feels fluid. Now, what are there things that you'd like to improve about that?
The slur?
The slur, what about it?
I don't know. It doesn't really hit on all the notes, I guess.
I actually wasn't having too much of a problem hearing them.
Okay.
I think focus on the bow this time,
Okay.
and try and make a very singing sound. So a little bit more horizontal. And when you get to the E string, don't be afraid to sink in just a little bit and let it sing. But keep the left hand the way it was.
Okay.
Good. A little bit more vibrato, a little bit more, this is going to be tricky to say. I want you to desire that top note a little bit more.
Okay.
I don't know, weird way.
Alright.
Don't make the listen awkward. You know, da-da-da-da-dum, it's tenuto. Feel like you're giving yourself a chance to vocalize the note.
Okay.
Okay, so it's left hand calm, but still wanting something there. Great. Now all you gotta do to make those slurs happen, a little closer to the bridge, sink in a little bit more so the right hand is very engaged in the process. The left hand is simply providing a little vibrato. Good. All right, anything else you want to do with that in terms of musicality?
Not really.
Just try this for me. Ya-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. And don't be in a rush to go on. So you can sit on that second one just a touch longer.
Okay.
Yes, and that gives you a chance to ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Take a little bit of time before it has to settle in on that rhythm.
Okay.
Okay? Why don't you start there, play that whole thing, and you can actually...
At the Tranquilo or the...
No, just right where you were.
Okay.
And then we'll go on and just talk a little bit about this.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to touch on this for like 2 seconds and then turn it into like 5 minutes. Yeah, once more, and please, a little bit more bow on these.
Okay.
It's not a left-hand issue, it's a right-hand thing.
Okay.
Tense, right?
What?
Tense.
Yeah.
Yeah? I can actually see your lips going.
Oh yeah, I did that in our recording too for the music camp. It was really awkward.
Oh, you did? Okay. So what you want, basically with this little thing, I mean, this is just a long cadenza. Right? And we want it to sound totally smooth.
Okay.
I want you to go all the way up to this note, right?
To the B or the G sharp?
To the B.
Okay.
That shift is the one you're worried about.
Yeah.
I want you to think completely horizontally and don't try to quote unquote nail it.
Okay.
That note, if it's bad, will be gone in a millisecond.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, that's no. That's more of the idea.
Okay.
Okay, once more. Now to clean that up,
Okay.
do it a little slower this time, and I want you to make sure that your finger has a chance to settle on that F sharp before you go on.
Okay.
So now I'm saying be relaxed going down the thing,
Okay.
but at the same time, and this will actually help, don't rush the rhythm or rush through any notes.
Okay.
Just because it's fast doesn't mean you have to kind of feel like you're pushing through it. Okay, so that's pretty slow now.
Okay.
Ya, ya, da, 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 da. Let your fingers go.
Wait.
Yes. Yeah, that was the idea. Yeah. Okay. That's, we'll let this kind of go. That's the approach to kind of all of this.
Okay.
I mean, there's not a single note in here that you want to be a big deal until you get here, right?
Yeah.
Right? So you can't allow yourself to make any of this a big deal.
Okay.
Because it isn't.
Okay.
Really. It's only a big deal on the recording when you look back and go, ah!
Okay.
Okay? So when you practice, keep that in mind.
Okay.
That all the shifts, you want them to feel a certain way. Same as the third. Focus on making them feel the way you want, not on trying to force the issue.
Okay.
All right? All right, just real quick, and then we'll call it off. So you already have lines in multiple colors under those notes.
Yeah.
There is a word that one could have written over the top. What is that word?
Tenuto or something like that?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, vibrato. Give yourself a chance to hear the vibrato. You get it ba-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. And the same thing down here. Go ahead. Just give it a try slow. Da-da-dum. Yeah, that's already better. Now, can you put a little bit more, I'll just say put a little bit more flair on. Yada-dum, da-da-dum, yada-da-da-da-da-dum. Da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Once more. Good, now you can't change the rhythm. Whoa. So, da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, right? So the beat goes on, right? Da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. It's okay if it's slightly behind the beat when you get here,
right?
As long as you rush through and arrive here at the right time.
Okay.
And you can practice that with a metronome going, da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, right? So here we go. Just take da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Yeah, that's the idea. You just need to refine it at home. Okay, in the interest of time, we're gonna let all of this go. How about the staccato?
It was hard.
Give it a try. Now if you're going, go a little slower, it's okay. Okay, I want you to relax your jaw a little bit. Yeah?
Okay.
It's gonna, what it's gonna feel like is it's gonna feel like your bow arm and your hand is actually farther away from you. The reason is that tension is exponential, right?
Okay.
If your neck is tight, it is going to pull this in slightly, but it's going to really feel like you're pulling it in. Just relax and concentrate on keeping your jaw and neck just totally loose. You can see your mouth moving. Okay, don't tilt your head side to side. Just, you ever seen, what's his name? Why is this? Kogan?
Yes.
Okay, he sits, I mean, he looks like he's definitely having some serious psychological conflict going on. Like he's just experiencing all of Kafka's works at one time. But he doesn't really move anything.
Right.
I mean, he plays like somebody's got some puppet strings and he's got a stick holding him in place that's going all the way up to the top of his head and only his arms can move, right?
Yeah.
Calm this all down. You don't need to move it.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay, not bad. So when you practice your staccato, how do you practice it? This is a general principle. Do you kind of practice it every day? Like, you know, you got the...
I do remember
right, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you practice that one every day?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I should.
Here's my advice. You know, the first part, you know, you can play the whole etude. You really just take the last couple of lines where it starts here. Right? Start with a metronome. You're going to have to practice slow speeds and fast speeds. I think the slow speeds are going to be fine. Around 104 is where I start to have problems because the motion transitions from this kind of thing where you're catching each one to right? Okay, here's the fallacy. This is a false movement.
Right.
Okay, this is happening just because of the inertia of my arm moving. I'm just leaning into my first finger and just trying to get this motion. The leaning in will get it to speak.
Okay.
So it's like a torsion screw. You just sort of, you know, set the thing and then kind of go. Easier said than done.
Right.
Try it on the E string. Put the bow like within an inch of the tip, yeah? Maybe a little farther. The other way. Right? There you go. Now, relax your hand. Now, I'm going to say structure, not tension. Let this finger have some tension, yeah? Or have some structure.
Okay.
I want you to lean into the string just to the point where you start to see this flex. If you move it just a little bit, it should make this sound. Oh, you're pressing way too hard. That's the idea. Now just set that. Okay, don't try and control it so much.
Okay.
No, that's the right idea.
It is?
Yeah, oh, totally. That was already faster. Now just make sure that you're leaning into your first finger, but don't let that make other things happen in your hand now. Yeah, that's the idea. Okay. Try using a little bit less bow on each one now. you're going to have to practice that.
All right.
And Kreutzer, that Kreutzer exercise is the best one, and that is a nut bow, so it's really awkward. Right?
Right.
Okay, so you're going to have to practice that and just keep those little principles in mind.
Okay.
To get something like this, honestly, once you got the scale down, it's a little bit like sautiller. You kind of just have to go after it pretty close to tempo.
Okay.
And just get used to getting the bow stroke right in the context of the fingers, and it's going to suck for a while, and eventually you just sort of put it together.
Okay.
All right? Do you want to try it once?
Sure.
Ignore the left hand and just try and get that right amount of tension and smaller bow, and just go. See what happens. Okay, don't look over there. Nothing on that wall will save you. Just watch your bow, relax. Don't try and line your bow up with your fingers. Okay, this is totally counterintuitive, but just... Yeah, okay? A little bit less bow so you don't get trapped down at the frog. Right? Again. You're still worrying about your left hand so much. Okay? You're not going to be able to get them lined up this moment. It's just not, I mean, well, maybe you will. I mean, you know, hey, more power to you if you can do it. You can't let this hand dictate what's going on here. Be willing to let this just be uncoordinated right now for the sake of getting this going. And then that's what you work on. Yeah, watch your bow. You're starting about there, which is just totally handicapping you. So when you pull that down bow, you need to really get after the tip. Yes, yeah, you see how it starts to go? Right. Just let it go. Yeah, so that's something you can really work on clarifying. You can get more of the, lost my shoulder rest. You can get more of that articulation just by adjusting the tension, adjusting the structure over here and not letting this finger go. Shortening the bow also helps, and it will allow you to get more notes in. Got the idea?
Sure. Yeah,
so just basically do it a billion times is what I'm telling you to do, and eventually it will be fine. Great, okay, we're all set. Thanks so much.